Episode 17, Marriage and Stroke. Like vinegar and wine, they really don't pair very well. This is a topic I've thought long and hard about, and there are so many unanswered questions and nuanced situations that I have to be careful of making too many generalizations. I am not Dr. Laura, and I'm not giving specific advice to your personal circumstances. I'm speaking as a stroke survivor of 20 years, meaning I've had 20 years of experience in a marriage that has survived, at least for now. Who, when you walk down the aisle all those years ago, and I assume that I'm speaking to an older generation, that generally is the group that had strokes. But anyway, who would have made stroke part of the equation? People take normal illness, even cancer, as part of the equation mentally. But very few a stroke. A stroke is unique in that it affects the body and the mind. To the average person, when you're out of the line about sickness and health, you say, yeah, you agree. Let's get on with it. And there's a sort of implied getting sick and then getting better, and your health comes back. If you rephrase it to you become paralyzed and lose part of your brain, which affects your reason, changes your personality, and God knows what else, and lose your job and ability to contribute to the family household, and know it is worse because the medical care therapy and procedures are often not covered by insurance and cost the family money. Hopefully, and I emphasize hopefully, and continuing my substitute sentence, they will show improvement after many years of needing care. Who would sign up for that? All those miseries listed above are possibly what your spouse is suddenly facing. Talk forums are full of comments like, "My spouse left me." And it is rare that a person has a partner who remains faithful and a kind caregiver that accepts that enormous burden on their shoulders all the time, moving forward with little complaint but lots of love. Your number one job is to get better, and number two is to cooperate as much as possible with your spouse and caregiver. By the way, there's a special place reserved in heaven for the latter type of person. Make your behavior after the stroke as little imposition to your spouse or caregiver as possible in the circumstances, and I emphasize in the circumstances. I know how difficult it is. I had a stroke. The stroke causes many strains, and you will have to adjust a lot, and shall we say as best you can. There is much that will be beyond your control. Of the pieces left of you, make them work as much in your favor as possible. Summon that great virtue, humility. By that I mean Make it what you are aspiring to. You will sometimes fail in meeting your goal, but try as hard as possible nevertheless. Be prepared to swallow your pride more than was the case before the stroke. I'm not saying that you have to maintain that attitude forever, but admit it, you're not exactly in a commanding position. When you can speak again, or if your speech was not much affected at all, react and hesitate and try not to say something in anger. Maybe count to 10, whatever, but don't immediately, because you have a tendency as a stroke victim to instant anger. I think for survivors, the quick to anger trait is one of the most insufferable. Imagine them thinking, I can put up with the extra chores and such, but not their anger, which flares up sometimes in inexplicable moments. A second thing that spouses don't understand is the degree to which your body and your mind is exhausted. They understand 2 months of exhaustion, but not much more. They haven't had the stroke, and your experience is beyond their comprehension, is beyond everyone's comprehension who has not had a stroke. I am pained greatly when I read about a spouse who after a short time is looking for their partner to resume their old duties and a share of the chores. I want to jump through the screen and shout, give that person time to heal. It'll come. They'll recover a little, much, but give them time. Buy time. Time is longer in recovery than other illnesses. I hope that you will find episode 2 in this regard useful. In episode 2, I discuss what's unique about stroke and situations that affect the brain and the body. You will discover maybe that you were married to the wrong person, or maybe that you were blessed with someone with empathy, understanding, and solid character. I hope with all my heart that you will fall upon the latter, because having a stroke was enough to have to cope with. You don't need to add a marriage or a failing marriage to the mix. With that, I will leave you and wish you the best recovery possible. Until the next episode, goodbye.